Chiefs get back into the victory column with a win over the Raiders 31-17 and had one of their best second halves of the season after, guess what? Not being able to score points the last 3 weeks in the second half. We appreciate you watching here on the Chiefs Report. My name is Jace Andrews, and I'm telling you what, this game had its tips, had its turns, had its scary moments, and had its fun moments. Overall, this was a well-played football game by both sides, and I honestly thought that this was one of the better, at least clean games we've seen. There was very few penalties. Overall, there was some pushing and shoving just because, well, they're rivals, but it looked nice. Patrick Mahomes goes just under 200, or rather 300 yards, gets 2 touchdowns. Pacheco, 15 carries, 55 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then absolute crazy game from Rashee Rice. 8 receptions, 107 yards, 1 touchdown. He is the guy now. We've been talking about how we've been waiting for Rashee Rice to become this wide receiver 1 for this team. And guess what? Today, I think we finally saw it, which is perfect timing considering, well, guess what? McCole Hardman, he's on IR. Kadarius Toney was out. Jerick McKinnon was out. You needed somebody to step up, and Rashee Rice was that guy. Aiden O'Connell gets 248 for a touchdown. Josh Jacobs, 20 for 110. And Jacoby Meyer was actually the leading receiver over, guess what, Davante Adams. I want you to spam W in the comments. The Chiefs dub. We're partying here in the Chiefs Port. Spam the dub in today's comment section. I want to see about 1 million of these dang things in the comments. If you're watching the video right now, you're commenting W in the comment section. Go do it right now. It helps us out. And make sure the Chiefs keep on getting those dubs. The Chiefs offense versus the Raiders was pretty dang good. Passing at 291, rushing 69 yards. The average wasn't exactly there, but this wasn't really a rushing game, to be quite honest. This was screen passes. This was passes to the left, passes to the right. Overall, just a team win. The big thing, guys, no turnovers. Thank you. Turnovers has been a huge problem for this Chiefs team. They don't do any. They win the game pretty handily. Patrick Mahomes, 27 of 34, 298. Guy who played pretty well. In fact, this was probably one of his better games, just shy of 300. And that's largely, in fact, due to Rashee Rice. Rice played well. And honestly, he was the guy who I look at and say, you know what? Without you, I don't know how this game goes. He had clutch catches. He had big catches, including a 39-yard touchdown reception. The rookie out of SMU is finally here to play, and I'm loving it because ultimately you need him to back up because this wide receiver core has been tough. All you really have besides Rashee, at least up until this point, has been Travis Kelce. Now, Kelce in this game, well, he was just shy of 100 yards, 91, 6 receptions, did not have a touchdown, though, with a long of 27. Interestingly enough, usually AFC West squads, he's the guy to kind of jump off the screen, pop off the board, and overall play the best game. Well, guess what? Today, it was Rashee Rice. I like what I saw from Rashee, and I hope that he can continue that because guess what? If you have Rashee Rice going for 100, you have Travis Kelce going for 90, this team becomes unstoppable. This was the offense we know. This is the offense we want. And hopefully it's the offense we keep seeing. Now, another guy who I think is maybe going to be overlooked in this game is probably Isiah Pacheco. Because when you look at the stat line in terms of carries and yards, they don't pop off the screen. 15 carries, 55 yards. But right below it, 2 touchdowns. Listen, Rashee and Isiah really, really helped out this team. 2 guys who are pretty young. Pacheco, his second year. Rashee, his rookie out of SMU. These 2 guys have become really staple pieces of this Chiefs offense, and I was happy to see both of them come out here and play well and ultimately be the key figures to this Kansas City Chiefs win. Now, the unfortunate part is I did not win my prize picks, but you can win with either the Sunday night game tonight or potentially you can win with Monday Night Football tomorrow as the Bears and the Vikings take on each other. Make sure you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use our code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. PrizePicks is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America, and it's the easiest, most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers, instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Now, again, it's super simple. I make my picks in literally like less than 60 seconds each day. 2 or more players, pick more than or less than on your projected stats, and then you can choose flex or power play. Now, flex is going to be where you only have to get about 2 right, and power play, you got to get every single one that you picked right. So see what you want to do with your entry there. Testing my skills on Prize Picks this season has been the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And if you have the skills, you can turn $10 into $250 with a few taps. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what makes Prize Picks the #1 daily fantasy sports app. Again, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Okay, the Raiders offense versus the Kansas City Chiefs. It was, I'm going to say, better than expected. 358, 235 in the air, 123 on the ground. A lot of those yards come from Josh Jacobs. Dude was a guy who really had a good game and overall played well, but man, there was a time where Patrick Mahomes had the same, if not identical, stat line to Aiden O'Connell. I'm going to give it to him. Listen, I talk trash about Aiden O'Connell all week. I talk trash how he shouldn't be a quarterback in the NFL. And honestly, today, he didn't play that bad. 235 in the air as a passing, but Aiden O'Connell, I'm going to say it, guy knew what he was doing, and he had 248 for a touchdown. So, is he like the savior of the Raiders? Is he going to be a starting quarterback in this league for a long time? No. But is he formidable? Yes. And I think I have to give props to him for that. Dude probably wasn't expecting to play this year. Came out of nowhere. And here you are, ahead of Jimmy G. Did get hurt in this game for a little bit, but came back in, so good to see for him. Josh Jacobs, he was the real guy who kind of bashed the Chiefs offense. 20 carries, 110 yards. This rushing defense does have to get better. Like, I love the defense, but I think the one knock is that their rushing defense is really just not good overall. He had one touchdown with a long of 63, and, I mean, it was very clear that they were going to use him a lot, given the rushing defense for the Chiefs, but I think the crazier thing is the passing defense really didn't hold up too much as well. I mentioned how Jacoby Myers had the better stat line, but Davante Adams still played pretty well. 5 receptions for 73 yards with a long of 33. But a lot of those yards, guess what? Came in the first half. In fact, most of those yards came in the first half. Second half, this defense was really locked down, shut them out, and overall, I'm going to say it, they were the best defense in the NFL again. Second half, they looked really, really good, and I like to see that more from them in the future, and hopefully every single half. Okay, we've kind of gone through all the stats here, both with the Raiders, both with the Chiefs. Who was your MVP from today's win? Was it Rashee Rice, who had the 170 yards and the 1 touchdown? Or was it going to be maybe Isiah Pacheco? Because you see with Pacheco, the 2 touchdowns, overall there's a lot of questions with this, and I think it's a good topic to discuss. Because I kind of had this chat in the watch party. Which team is better? Was it going to be, or excuse me, which team? Which was better, offense or defense? And I kind of had struggle because defense played well most of the game, but offense struggled in the first half, so did the defense. The MVP, though, I think it's pretty clear that it was probably Isiah Pacheco or Rashee Rice. So let me know in the comment section what you're thinking about the potential for what is the MVP. All right, with this win, let's take a look at the playoff picture around the board in the AFC. The divisional leaders go as followed, all at 8-3. Chiefs, Jags, Dolphins, and Ravens, but the Ravens do play tonight against the Chargers. The Chargers are in the hunt, 4-6 right now. That would be a good win for the Chiefs just to kind of separate themselves, because guess what? Of those 3 teams down there in the division leaders, that would give you the first seed. You've beaten 2 of them, the Jags and the Dolphins. Therefore, the Ravens lose. Guess what? You automatically help yourself out, and you are now the sole 1 seed, and you're back to controlling your own destiny. You win out. Doesn't matter what anybody else do. You are the 1 seed. Schedule, well, it's not the easiest thing, but it can get done. Chiefs again, 31, Raiders 17. Help the Chiefs boost themselves back into the #1 slot for the time being. Now, again, the Ravens playing tonight, and we'll have to see what happens with that. Now, in terms of what this means for the future of the Kansas City Chiefs, well, I think first of all, we have to talk about how the offense really just kind of lit up a little bit in that second half. And the biggest thing is Rashee Rice has been talked about for months and months and months. And yet, guess what? He hasn't really lived up to expectations. Now, guess what? Well, now you see what he can do. I really, really like this offense if Rashee Rice can get going. You can get Mecole Hardman back here in 5 weeks. And on top of which, you're probably going to get Kadarius Toney back hopefully next week. But dude has just struggled with injuries, so I feel bad for him. Now, in terms of what's next on the schedule for the Chiefs, well, here we go. We got Sunday Night Football coming up against the Packers in Week 13. That's going to be a fun one against Jordan Love. Then the Bills, who had a tragic loss today to the Eagles. My gosh. I mean, I'm happy because goodness, the Bills probably won't make the playoffs. They are just continue to turn the ball over and they lose. Then you get a Monday Night Football game against the Patriots, who lost to the Giants today. Patriots, congratulations. You are now the proud owner of either Caleb Williams or Drake May. Week 16, you get the Raiders on Christmas. 12 o'clock kick. We'll be live for it. And guess what? The Raiders come to Arrowhead, which they've honestly been better at. Week 17, you got the Bengals without Joe Burrow, and then you round out the season with the Chargers in L.A. Schedule is pretty nice. I think you could probably go out and, honestly, at this point, I'm saying undefeated. Saying you go in there and beat the crap out of all these teams. Show them who's boss. Take the 1 seed, and all those doubters, all those haters, guess what? No more. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're going to put Chiefs content out this entire week, having updates on everything you need to know from Chiefs news, Chiefs rumors, Chiefs injury updates, which there was not any in this game. Again, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. As always, Chiefs Kingdom, I appreciate you watching. If you made it to the end of the video, I really appreciate you. Peace out.